Every morning, before the noise of the world takes over, there's a voice waiting to rise within you, the voice of your true power. Say this before you touch your phone, before you remember your problems, before you remember who you were yesterday. Today, I am not my past. Today, I am becoming who I was always meant to be. Because each morning is not a continuation of your life. It's a resurrection, a chance to be reborn into someone stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than the person who fell asleep last night. When you open your eyes, realize this: the world hasn't given you another day. You've been granted another opportunity to conquer it. There's a difference between existing and awakening. Existing is what most people do. They repeat yesterday's thoughts, yesterday's habits, yesterday's pain. But awakening is a declaration. It's when you say, I refuse to live the same story again. Every sunrise is an invitation to rewrite your destiny, and most people never please reply the moment you wake up. Your mind is empty, vulnerable, open. That's when you must plant power into it. Don't let fear, doubt, or distraction enter first. Say this: I am in control of my thoughts. I decide what I believe. I decide what I create. Because your mind is the architect of everything you touch. If you start the day with weakness, weakness will shape your reality. But if you start with strength, strength will follow you like a shadow. Understand this truth: the words you speak in the morning become the blueprint of your reality. You are not talking to the universe. You are talking to your subconscious mind, the silent engineer that builds your future. When you tell it, I can't, it builds walls. When you tell it, I can, it builds bridges. When you say, I am not enough, it hides your potential. But when you whisper, I am powerful beyond measure, it unleashes every dormant miracle inside you. So say this every morning, not as a ritual, but as an awakening: I am not my fears. I am not my failures. I am not what they said I couldn't be. I am what I decide to become. Because you were not born to live in the shadows of other people's opinions. You were born to create your own light. And the moment you start speaking that light, everything in your life begins to rearrange itself around your new vibration. There is something sacred about the silence before the world wakes up. In that stillness, your words echo the loudest. That's when you talk directly to your destiny. You can tell it: today you belong to me. Because destiny is not random. It listens to those who speak with conviction. It bends for those who dare to command it. Every empire that ever rose began with someone who refused to stay quiet about what they wanted. You must understand, your mornings are your kingdom and your words are your throne. If you waste your first thoughts on complaints, regret, or worry, you have already surrendered your power for the day. But if you begin your morning by saying, I am ready, I am grateful, I am unshakable, you take your crown back. You remind the world that it does not decide your worth, you do. There is a battle that begins every morning, between your old self and your new self. The old self wants comfort, excuses, and repetition. The new self wants growth, challenge, and transformation. And the weapon that decides who wins that battle is the first sentence you speak after you wake up. Choose your side carefully, because every morning you either rebirth your power or repeat your past. When you say, I am ready, you summon forces you cannot see. You activate parts of your brain that slept through years of doubt. You awaken cells in your body that start believing again. It's not magic, it's alignment. The universe doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to certainty. When your voice carries conviction, reality has no choice but to obey. You may not realize it yet, but every word you speak carries a frequency. That frequency travels into the world and starts attracting situations that match its tone. So if you speak defeat, defeat will find you. But if you speak power, power will surround you. That's why your first words of the day are sacred. They are the tuning fork for your entire reality. So before you scroll through chaos, before you remember who hurt you, before you doubt yourself again, pause, breathe, and say this: I am the creator of my reality. I attract strength, success, and peace. Say it not as an affirmation, but as a command. Because you are not asking for permission from life, you are declaring your dominion over it. Every morning is proof that life has not given up on you. You're still here because your mission isn't complete. The sun rises to remind you there is still something extraordinary left for you to do. So when you rise, don't crawl back into your excuses. Rise like someone who remembers their purpose. Rise like someone who knows their time is now. You've been conditioned to think mornings are ordinary, but they are portals. What you say when you wake up decides which dimension of life you enter. One version of you lives in fear and mediocrity. Another version lives in purpose and greatness. The bridge between those two worlds is built with your morning words. Choose your language wisely because it becomes your life. So when the alarm rings, don't hit snooze. Speak power. Whisper to yourself, I am grateful for another chance. I will not waste it. I will rise with purpose. These words seem small, but they are seeds, and every day you water them with repetition. Your life begins to bloom in ways you once thought were impossible. Every morning you are given a blank page. What you say becomes the first sentence. Will it be, I can't do this again? Or will it be, this is the day I rewrite my story? You get to choose. Every sunrise is a pen in your hand. Every word you speak is ink, and the masterpiece of your life begins with what you decide to say today. And so, tomorrow morning, when the world is silent and your eyes first open, say this. I am alive, I am powerful, I am becoming. Not because it sounds good, but because it's true. You are not who you were yesterday. You are a force rewriting your future in real time. Say it until your cells believe it. Say it until your habits obey it. Say it until your life reflects it. When you begin your day with power, the world starts bending differently around you. Opportunities you once overlooked start revealing themselves. People respond to your energy differently because you have shifted the frequency of your being. You've gone from existing by default to living by design. Every morning that you command your mind, you are programming destiny itself. You are telling life, I am no longer waiting, I am creating. The truth is, your life is shaped not by the things you do occasionally, but by the energy you carry daily. And your energy begins with your words. The tone of your morning determines the rhythm of your day. If you start from peace, you move with clarity. If you start from chaos, you stumble through confusion. That's why the most successful people on this planet guard their mornings like treasure, because they know it's the time when creation begins. Say this each morning and mean it. I will no longer live in reaction. I am the cause, not the effect. Most people wake up and immediately hand their emotions over to the world. A message, a memory, a mistake from yesterday, but not you. You are reclaiming control. You are commanding your reality before it commands you. Because when you control your first thought, you control your fate. Every time you wake up, you stand between two worlds, the life you've been living and the life you could live. The difference between the two is courage, and courage begins with what you tell yourself. Every morning your doubts will whisper, stay the same, but your soul will whisper louder, it's time. And if you choose to answer that whisper, you'll begin walking toward a version of yourself you never believed was possible. There's a power inside you that's been silent for too long. Each morning you speak power into existence, that power wakes up. It begins to expand. It starts breaking through layers of fear.